Hello again and welcome, listeners, to Shallow Thoughts and Deep Shit. My name is Jefferson Lambert, and I'll be your host for this atrocity as I journey through the mind of a serial misanthrope. You can listen to this podcast for free at Spotify, Apple iTunes, iHeartMusic, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Radio Public, and Spotify for podcasters. If you like what you hear, please rate the show, subscribe, and follow. You can also follow the show on Instagram, X, Facebook, and YouTube, where you can join for extra content, new episode notifications, and more. And don't forget, you can interact with each episode and post a comment or ask a question if you so desire. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started, shall we? Truckers. It used to bother me to be driving down the interstate or thruway and an 18-wheeler suddenly moves over to make a pass in the left lane. Or how about driving down a surface street and a tractor trailer is suddenly in the middle of the road making a backup move and blocks traffic for 60 seconds. Maybe a truck is traveling way slower than I want to and is obstructing my path, making me arrive later to my all-important destination. Nope, I'm not going to sweat that either. These things used to irritate me in the past, but I know better now. Why does it not get to me anymore, you ask? Because truckers and the trucking industry are the backbone of this country, in my opinion. Without them, life as we know it would not exist. There are many important industries out there, countless, but truckers and the job they do day in and day out is essential to everyone's way of life in America. These men and women are in charge of 80,000-pound payloads, traveling at high velocity across the arteries of America, dealing with the rest of us who are somehow inconvenienced by their existence, but rely on them to sustain the lives that we lead. They work long hours and travel miles away from their families, on the road, and living as nomads, so that their goods get delivered and they make a living. Without them, this country would come to a standstill. Without truckers, the grocery stores would become bare real quick, and gas stations would close down within a day or two, and everything in our lives would come to a grinding halt. Truckers. Truckers keep this country alive, and they're the reason we can all exist as a society. Without them, the supply chain would stop, and nothing would ever be replenished, and we'd be thrown into a world of chaos and bedlam. And yes, I get it. Without many professions, we'd all be screwed. Doctors, EMTs, firefighters, police, teachers, etc. But without truckers, we're so fucked. There'd be no food, no gas, no medical supplies, no nothing. Truckers do this for us every day, and it's a thankless job. Thank you, truckers. Thank you for making my life easier. Without them, I couldn't order a new TV, or eat chicken pot pie, or get my K-Cups delivered to me conveniently. I couldn't buy soap to wash my ass or have a towel to dry off, even if I did. How the fuck would I ever get anything if it weren't for truckers? Again, there's a shit ton of professions that keep America running. Many, though, we can surely live without. If all the DoorDash drivers disappeared, I think we'd all be okay, and many would realize going to get your own stuff really isn't all that hard. Baristas could all probably take a sabbatical too, and I'm sure life would go on. Bathroom attendants are pretty useless too. Not to pick on food delivery drivers, coffee makers, and pee-pee watchers, but yeah, fuck you. You aren't doing anything to make the world go around. The reality is truckers bring us everything. There is no possible way we could exist in today's world without truckers. I'm not a trucker. I don't know any truckers, and I'm not sponsored by any trucking company, but I know for a fact that truckers make the world go around and make life better for every single person in this country. They bring us everything we need, and without them, we'd certainly be living in primitive times. There are many professions out there that we could probably do without. Lawyers, politicians, homeowner association presidents, internet influencers, Hollywood actors, etc. But truckers are not one of them. Without them, life would stop. Think about that the next time you're at the grocery store staring at aisles and aisles of food and products. How did all that shit get there?